Well, this is the opening of the fossil park up here in Rogers City, and it's going to be a magnificent day. The public is invited to come in and browse through these piles and actually find fossils that lived here about 350 million years ago. Right underneath us, this was once a coral reef, and this is just a spectacular thing for the community to come in and actually dig up these fossils and keep them.
You are standing here on the shores of beautiful Lake Huron at the Rogers City Little League Fossil Park. And this fossil park was made possible by the Carmeuse Lime and Stone Company, which deposited these loads of minerals that are filled with fossils that are 300 to 400 million years old. The material is from their quarry, which for safety reasons they don't want people wandering around looking for fossils in, but they were gracious enough to bring it out here, and it's available now for the public to start to explore and enjoy. And with that, I'll turn it over to Dana, who is instrumental in making this happen through his love of fossil hunting and children and learning, and his work with the library and all the other groups that help make this possible. Dana?
The idea behind the fossil park is for grandparents to bring their grandchildren, parents to come. Any fossils you find are free, and you never know what you're going to find. This is one of the greatest areas in the world for coral fossils. Taking advantage of it.
Where are we?
We are downtown Rogers City, Michigan, and we are on the shores of Lake Huron. The fossil park itself is being developed in an area that has Little League diamonds, there's a kiddie park, and there's a beach. So you can enjoy all the best things of Northeast Michigan right here in Rogers City.
All right, what we have here is just a very small sample of some of the fossils that can be found here in Rogers City. This is a great example of a coral that's called hexagonaria, and people more commonly know this as a piece of Petoskey stone. But it's not a Petoskey stone until people slice it and polish it and charge you lots of money for it, then it's a Petoskey stone. In its rough form, the way it's found here in Rogers City, it's called hexagonaria coral. This is a colonial coral. It grew in a big bunch, a whole bunch of single corals growing together in one colony. We also have solitary corals, which are corals that grow by themselves. This one is a horn coral, and you can see part of it doesn't belong here. This needs to be broken off, but you can see the theca inside the coral. This is actually where an animal lived. A lot of people think that corals were plants, but they were actually animals. And this is, again, is a solitary coral. It grew on the bottom of the ocean. It attached itself to a rock by the bottom, and it grew up like this. And it looked kind of like a sea anemone. The sea anemones have those tentacles that stick up in the water. That's what this looked like. Around the outside of this there were a bunch of tentacles, and what would happen is this animal would catch its food and bring it down into the middle right down there. So this again is a solitary coral. Most of what you find here in the Rogers City area is coral like this, because we were once the bottom of a shallow saltwater tropical sea. You'll also get a chance to find seashells. We call them seashells, but they're actually called brachiopods. Brachiopods are basically shells that lived in the ocean. Seashells, again. Back then there were no humans to run around the beaches and collect up all the shells, so these things piled up in very large piles along the beaches, and they then started to turn into fossils. They started the fossilization process. And you find all different kinds of species of brachiopods here in Rogers City. Here again is a nice example of some of the seashells you find here. This is actually something that I like to call hash, and so is this right here. Hash is basically just the bottom of the ocean that's been fossilized together in one big chunk. And in this hash, you'll actually find lots of examples of different kinds of seashells. You'll find parts of corals and crinoids. You might find an odd trilobite in this kind of stuff. So this, again, is the bottom of the ocean that's been fossilized into one big chunk. And it's just loaded with creatures that lived here 350 million years ago.